Live from Cool Boys Central.
You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
Hold your dicks and rub your tits.
You'll be ice cold.
Here come the Cool Boys.
Just a young boy.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
I see cool boys.
Biscuit. Buttermilk biscuit. Give it the biscuit.
Bang, bitches.
Bang, bitches.
There's a montage for you.
I don't know where. Oh, yeah. Bang, bitches. I remember that kid from my little brother's girlfriend, and we just refer to her as a bang bitch. I think she's the current girlfriend, or maybe she's on the way out. Who knows?
What does that show?
Yeah, I can leave that in the show.
Right.
Is a bang bitch a girl you bang?
Well, that's what I was treating her. I was derogatory towards her. That's like I knew she was reading my brother's text, or apparently she was reading my brother's text. So I was figured if she is, then she's gonna be reading. Hey, I guess it's obvious my little brother's name at this point. I've said it before. Hey, Steven, you know, like, how's the bang bitch doing? You know, like, oh, Steven, you and your bang bitches, always with the bang bitches. And just figuring that she would read that and go, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still kind of unclear what a bang bitch is, but
I think it's the female equivalent of a fuckboy.
I figure it's a bitch you bang and then you drop, and then you bang another bitch and you drop, and then you bang another bitch and you drop.
Oh, it's kind of the inverse than a
fuckboy. You drop. Bang bitches.
I thought Felk's definition made more sense than that.
What's that?
But a fuckboy?
It's the opposite of a fuckboy. A fuckboy is a boy, obviously.
Yeah, that's a boy that you fuck and then you drop. And then you fuck
No,
him, and then you
it's a
drop.
boy who fucks you, pretends he wants to be your boyfriend, and then drops you.
Bang
Oh, it's like a
bitches.
reverse? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know.
reverse.
Bang bitches.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Fuckboy for life.
Wait, Phil, do you classify yourself as a fuckboy?
No, but I'm sure that there are people in this world who would have heard the Urban Dictionary description of fuckboy and gone, yeah, you're one of them. You're one of them. You're one of them.
Bang bitches.
Bang, bitches. I'm drinking a Jack
Fuckboy.
and Coke with an ice cube ball.
Oh my God. I am drinking an apple cider moonshine with an ice cube ball.
Well, that's incredible because I am drinking a nice Pinot Noir with an ice cube ball.
No, you're not. You Croatians. That's how they do it in Croatia. if my understanding is
Sangria.
correct. Bang bitches. I got a secret drink, by the way, guys. I guess we shouldn't move on until I mention my secret drink. So it's nothing special. It's just going to be my power through the podcast drink, and that's my coffee with a little bit of rum splash.
Baby secret of the drink.
Noel, you got no quip.
No, it's coffee and rum?
Yeah, just coffee and rum.
Is that even an actual drink?
Eh.
Rum does go with milkier things. I mean, one of the hip new millennial drinks is called rum chata, which is a rum horchata.
I thought you were going to say it was a rum cum.
No.
I like rum in coffee, and I like to call it a Paddington.
I love your shirt, by the way, that it's the Batman logo, but it's not quite because it's a stingray.
It's a battery.
Wait, Ballard, do you mean a Paddington more like a Hollandaise?
Yep, it's Hollandaise. Yeah. I mean, they're interchangeable, the names, really. Felk, you know you're like the second person today to compliment me on the shirt, as well as like the 100th person ever to compliment me on this shirt. And
Is it for an aquarium? I can read
It's
aquarium.
from Vancouver Aquarium. It's the best aquarium. It's an aquarium I've been to 5 times, I think, at this point.
The best aquarium has to be in America.
Yeah, what about Monterey? Monterey.
Yeah.
I grew up on Monterey Bay Aquarium, and I love Vancouver because Vancouver has like a beluga whale, baby beluga.
That's kind of hard to beat. Monterey Bay just had a great white shark, but whatever.
I saw one of the great whites. It had a couple great whites. I saw one of them, and you know what? There were several times other sharks swam in front of the exhibit, and you were like, "Oh, is that the great white?" Oh, I don't know. But then when the baby great white came through, you were like, holy fuck, that thing is a muscle torpedo. And like you saw, I mean, it was just like, that's a great white. It looks so different than everything else in the, I think it's like the, it was called the open ocean tank.
Yep.
It was
The big
awesome.
one.
If there's ever a great white shark in an aquarium and you can go see it, go see it. I recommend them.
I don't think there's ever been a great white shark in an aquarium.
There's been several. Steinhardt Aquarium had one, and it used to bash its head against the wall. And so they ended up finding out that there was an electrical socket on the other side of that wall, and the shark was attracted to the electrical socket, thought it was like a fish in distress. They had to release that one. Monterey's had 2 or 3 at this point, the very small ones and young ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in Texas, they had a great white shark actually in an aquarium at one point as well.
They have a very big SeaWorld in Texas. One of my favorite aquariums is probably the Sequest, or what's it called? Sequest? The one at Epcot Center.
Yeah, Sequest 2020.
No, it's not good. Seabase.
Jonathan Brandis.
Seabase at Epcot Center. No, the restaurant they have that's inside, like basically inside an aquarium. Oh, it's so cool. Don't let Tom Cruise in there, or he'll burst it and escape
with gum.
Exactly.
Explosive gum.
Greetings, Cool Boy Nation, and welcome to another installment of the Cool Boys Podcast. I am Felk.
I am Ballard.
And I am Nolan. Hi, guys.
Nolan.
Hey, boys. Playboys.
Bang, bitches.
Fuck boys.
Fuck boys. Playboys.
We need to get
bang
into fuck
bitches.
boys. All right.
Oh, my. Fuck boys. Playboys. Bang bitches. Oh, my. Is that the song Dorothy sang as she fucking was skipping down the Golden Shower Road?
I think it's verbatim.
According to Urban Dictionary, a fuckboy is the type of guy who does shit that generally pisses the population of the earth off all the time. He will also lead girls on just for hookups, says he's really into you, but doesn't want to deal with all the relationship bullshit just to fuck you. He thinks about himself and only himself all the time, but pretends to be really nice. He also does really fucked up shit and complains about people who do the same shit as him. Once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy, because fuckboys gonna be fuckboys. That's the second
last part.
That's the second definition.
Yeah, we gotta do 1, 2, 3. Fuck boys.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Fuck boys. Fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
Fuck
You
boys.
got something to work with there. And then, why don't you look up bang bitches in Urban Dictionary right now too? Because I thought I may have made that one up.
Fuckboy syndrome. So fuckboy can be spelled B-O-I as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love that spelling. That's my favorite spelling of boys ever.
Yeah, it's like Stacks, right? It's your boy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't spell Stacks S-T-A-C-K-S. It's S-T-A-X-X.
Also,
B-O-I.
according to Urban Dictionary, fuckboys often think they are cool for bragging about having sex or getting drunk.
Wow, we're fuck boys. We're fuck boys.
I can't believe fuck boys. Yeah,
Look
this
up
is
bang
terrible.
bitches. Look up bang bitches. I mean, I came up with those 2 words together on my own. I'm sure several have as well.
Bang bitch is indeed a definition on Urban Dictionary. A bang
Of course
bitch,
it is. Everything is.
a female who down for the grammar. Even the Urban Dictionary doesn't use correct grammar. A female who down for anything when it comes to her boyfriend or husband, such as fighting, smoking, or shooting. Example: you can keep running your mouth. I got a bang bitch for that.
What? That's
So a bang bitch is like
example.
a woman who'll do anything for you, including like fight for you.
Well, that's nothing like what we thought it was.
No, it's not.
No.
We
No,
were
not
very
at all.
wrong. We were so wrong.
I also put gift
sorry,
wrapping
bang
as a
bitches.
different definition in my head when I said it, and then when you looked it up, it was like shitting on toilet paper, and then like it would wrap itself, and you leave it in the toilet, and that was gift wrapping. And I was like, I just said gift wrapping. What's Felk looking up again?
Gift wrapping.
Yeah, of course. There's multiple definitions of gift wrapping now. It's got another definition of gift wrapping is when a fine honey gets all dressed up, even though she knows she won't be dressed for long. Kind of like that. I kind of like that one. Kind of like
That's
that
a good one.
Yeah.
I think we've all experienced a fine honey doing that.
Okay. Also, gift wrapping a toilet seat is the act of carefully covering a toilet seat in a public bathroom with toilet paper or other protective paper so that your skin doesn't make contact with the toilet seat and catching who knows what.
I gift wrap all the time.
I think
For other people?
No, not for other people, for myself.
Because if I walked into a bathroom and there was gift wrapped on the toilet, I would just knock that shit right into the toilet seat and flush.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. There's some shady shit going on there.
Okay, 2 things. First of all, I never fucking rap. Put my ass right there. I rub my ass on the walls. I rub my ass on the door lock just so I know whoever touches the door lock next has to touch my ass.
No.
Ass is everywhere. My ass is going to be everywhere. Never gift wrap. Never use those pathetic little fucking wrappers that disposable ones. But I've worked in many an office building where I've come in and seeing the last person's gift wrapping all over the seat, like just like they're building cushions with toilet paper all over that seat for their precious perfect glasses, and then they don't even take the time to knock it into the toilet seat into the toilet bowl and flush like any common courtesy. It's just like, this is what I did to clean up my mess, or use it again. Maybe you want to share. Those people should be fucking federal law. Like, they should be tried. They should be.
Wow. All I got from that was precious little ass.
Yeah. All I understood from that was that there are some people trying to be sustainable, and Felk just wants them to be tried.
Wait,
I love the idea of a cushion, though.
sustainable meaning because they don't want to catch something.
No, because they're reducing, reusing, recycling. With they're reusing their clean gift wrapping.
No, the gift wrapping is to protect your ass from the toilet seat. Once you already put your ass on that toilet paper, then.
But that's not how they see it. They see it as saving Mother Earth.
You know, I'm with
Gaia
Falcons.
or whatever.
I actually think the ass is one of the cleanest parts of the human body. The ass cheek. It touches nothing. It's in your pants all day long. It touches nothing. So the toilet seat is probably not that dirty.
I have not washed my hands specifically and gotten like looks, and I'm like, my dick is the cleanest thing on me right now.
No, I don't agree with that. It's not clean.
And if I piss on my hand, then I really have to wash my hands. But if I don't piss on my hands, my dick is cleaner than my fucking hands.
Guys, you guys don't wash your dick off in the bathroom sinks?
You don't ever actually do that, right?
Oh, shit. See, I always figured you wash your hands and your dick off because everything gets dirty in there. Just by entering, I figured you just had to wash it off.
Well, you would fit right in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
You should move
Washing
there.
off dicks in bathroom sinks?
There should be a nice like little locker when you enter the a public restroom. Take off all your clothes, then walk over to the urinal and piss, then put your clothes back on. Well, I don't think that's practical or would help anything. But wouldn't it be fun?
Get butt naked and
Wouldn't it
they
be
piss
fun?
and shit in a public bathroom?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous epidemic you're creating right there of butt sex that's just going to be going on unchecked. Think about how many times Nolan has put in a Would You Rather that someone comes in real quick and gives you anal pounding for like 15 seconds. And it's real fast. You know, like that's going to happen all the time in that situation you just described.
This episode, we'll be discussing the fabulous world of Playboy. Of course, that entails the Playmates, the tits, the bods, the bonches?
Paunches.
The bunches, and as always, our cool stories about first encountering this wonderful world that is Playboy and the many boners it has given us. But first, we have some cool boy updates. So, gents, what have you been up to? What are bunches?
Guys, don't say bunches, say bushes.
Bushes.
Bushes, just say bushes. It should be. I don't know who wrote bunches, but bushes. It should
I
be.
wrote bunches.
Bushes, because Playboy's all about bush.
All this is staying in. The bunches.
Bunches. You guys ever heard of a bunch? Urban
No,
Dictionary, a
bunch.
bunch.
Oh God, Urban Dictionary is getting played tonight.
A bunch is a pussy.
Is it push? But pubic hair is like such a big thing of Playboy.
It's a human perineum, male or female. It's as close to your hiney on a girl's ass, the perineum.
Taint.
Yeah, taint.
Taint the balls, taint the ass.
Examples will be my bonch itches. I will bonch shive you with a fork. All right, shiv. Should
I think Playboy is very famous for their bunch shots.
pretty good. Yeah, no, let's keep bonches in there.
They are. But I would say their focus is more on the bush aspect of the bonch.
Not since like '96 or something. Then all the bushes were all deforestation.
Well, actually, in Japanese Tokyo magazines of fucking Playboy, they would, I guess, digitally or composite in, depending on the era, bushes, because they preferred all these shaved women, like Jennifer Walcott. One of her favorite things was talking about when she would look at Japanese Playboys of her, they would have all this pubic hair on her. And she was always like, no, I hate that. I always want to be shaved. Biscuits are shaved.
Biscuits
They were putting
shaved.
bushes all over their hairs in Japan.
Bunches.
All right. Well, you want to do last update first? Want to get into the last show first?
Oh, yeah. Is there anything about last episode?
What was the last episode about? Oh, yeah, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Bunches.
I guess the only thing we didn't really talk about is we didn't get into the dark universe really at all with our mummy conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did
Don't
try to
care.
explain the podcast today to somebody, and I like, what are you about? I'm like, well, for a while we had a dedicated Tom Cruise news segment, That got quite a laugh. Kind of made me wonder if maybe we should just always talk about Tom Cruise. Although nothing's happened. We did a full episode. We'll break, but we will return to Tom Cruise soon, I hope.
I think we should.
I think we'll always return to Tom Cruise, Hugh Jackman, or Henry Cavill.
All right. Well, my quick update for teases, Hugh Jackman, would be I've started playing Uncharted Lost Legacy. I am up to the same part, more or less, that I quit when I was replaying Uncharted 4, which is the huge ass map that you drive around. I'm still stuck at that part, and I'm still dealing with that. But I mean, it looks great. I'm playing it in HDR 4K. I will want to do like a full, review with you guys of that and 4 and probably the other games. We'll do an Uncharted special at some point.
Everything but the mobile.
The mobile part, it's not Uncharted. It feels like busy work. Driving around in like GTA is fun because there's so much shit going on.
No. I mean the mobile games.
Oh. For
we
Uncharted?
should talk about those, but we should talk about the 4 games and then this side adventure with Chloe.
Yes.
Yep.
I might mention.
Definitely. Let's do
going to
another
this.
podcast just about that. Maybe the next episode could be that.
But the open world driving part, it's just a killer. It brings all the momentum down just as it did in 4, and that's my quick update on the game. Hopefully, when I get through that, there's more good stuff.
That's when you do get through that aspect of the game, it becomes a linear story at that point again. You aren't really roaming and checking shit out. You kind of do come back to it for like a heartbeat, but it's really like specific. They kind of are like, you just need to go here, and you go there, and it's done. You don't have to go driving around if you don't want to.
Because in 4 there was the driving, and then there was the boat, and it was just too much moving around.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, because I that's what I said in my review of it, really, I guess, was that, like, my biggest issue with it is that the open world sandbox just completely destroys the aspect of the game for me, which is that at its fundamentals, it is an action-adventure movie you are playing, and all of a sudden doing a sandbox ruins that, Like, Last of Us would be horrible if you had, like, 30 minutes just to wander a forest.
But you do.
Well,
not a huge forest.
Not really.
It's
you
linear.
kind of are directed by the deer exactly where to go.
It's linear. It's very linear, and it's not 40. It's not that long of segment. And if you got an open truck and we're moving around an open period with like, it would kill that
I
shit.
guarantee you that's in the next one. And dude, I'm talking about like you go through towns where you're just searching through houses for like 45 minutes. It totally has like non-linear searchable areas.
What, you talking about Last of Us?
Yeah.
Not as big. They're not as big.
But I
Nowhere
feel
near
like
as big.
this is like, if you think about Last of Us, you're not driving. Like, the most you do is you ride a horse for a little bit. Like, this is like huge map. You have to have a car. I think if you didn't have a car, you and Chloe and Nadine would just be running around forever.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hear your criticism. I kind of agree with it, but I also disagree with it. But I think.
But we should table it until the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want to talk about the whole when Felk finishes it, and we want to talk about the whole series on PS.
I will say it's making me want to replay Uncharted 4 just because this is the first game I've had with dedicated, like, mastered 4K and HDR. It looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, great looking game.
You guys don't have 4K TVs, right? So you never.
I have a 4K TV.
Oh, you do? Have you played anything?
I don't have a PS Pro.
Oh. You have a PS
I do not
amateur.
have a 4K TV.
I have two 4K TVs. Suck my dick.
But no 4K PS4.
Fuck boy.
Yeah.
Boy for life.
Bunches.
I have the last great plasma built by Panasonic. That's
You
it.
also have the last great 6 foot by 6 foot RCA 4x3 television.
No,
in the
I
box.
used to. I
Really?
love that thing. I ripped my knuckle off. I was moving with Cool Boy Chub Stud, and he's a weak little man, so he couldn't hold it, and it dropped onto my knuckle. I remember I ripped off a whole chunk of my knuckle trying to move that thing. I left it on the street in L.A. I came back 15 minutes later, gone.
Dude, when I
Just gone.
When I got that really cheap Sony this like projection one, I gave you a 32-inch Sony I think Vio.
Yeah.
You and Dorn came over at 10 in the morning to or Chubstud. You and Chubstud came over at 10 in the morning to pick it up, and I had to help you because his side was like your side was here and his side was whoop, so I had to help.
what Felk just showed with his hands was that Chubstad's side was much lower than Ballard's side.
Yes.
Ballard has muscles from Brussels.
Yeah. And I think Cool Boy Nation needs to know that Ballard is a very large, muscular man.
Oh yeah.
Very, very big.
If Ballard
Giant
hugs you,
club.
you're not getting out.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That sounds horrible.
So I guess we'll get into Ballard updates.
Yeah.
Chubstud, this is for you, really, out of anybody that's listening. This is only for Chubstud. So I started my 31 days, and we're in October right now, and October 1st, October 2nd, and this is being recorded on October 3rd. And on October, I watch a horror movie a night. I watch 31 horror movies. I create a playlist, and then I just watch them through. I watched Get Out. I liked it a lot. I figured out the twist within the first 20 minutes. It didn't ruin the movie. And
white people
I
are the
watched
real
Eden
bad
Lake
guys?
the following night, and that was a Michael Fassbender film from 2008.
Wait, what?
And I don't like it.
Wait, what
I
movie?
thought it was not a good movie. I didn't care for the characters.
What movie?
And what?
What movie?
Eden Lake.
I fucking love that movie.
Oh, really? I didn't care for the characters. However, I love the ending. And that kind of makes it a 3 out of 5 boy. I would say Get Out is 5 out of 5 boys.
I watched that at 3 in the
figured out
morning with
twist.
Cool Boy Corey or Cool Boy Nation
What,
Corey.
Eden?
Yeah, Eden Lake after
Yeah.
a Halloween party, and we were both so sleepy at the end of it. But the final shot, I was just like, I guess evil does prevail.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but not much. Tonight, I'm either going to be watching, after this episode, we finish recording, I'll be watching Don't Breathe or The Belko Experiment.
Watch Don't Breathe.
I'm sure we'll figure it out later.
Watch Don't Breathe. I recommend it quite a bit. I thought it was very fun.
So yeah, I'll probably see Don't Breathe then, Felk. That's a good recommendation then, I guess. And I'll go with that, and I'll see Belko Experiment next. All right, Noli, what's your update?
I'm going to send you guys for a loop right now.
Uh-oh.
Because tonight, we're not talking about Playboy.
What?
We're not talking about hot bodies. We're not talking about hot tits.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Tonight, Noli is hijacking the episode, and we're talking about Thunderdongs.
Dongs?
Dongs.
Dongs.
Thunder Dongs?
That's right, folks. Today we're going to talk about the biggest dicks, the best dicks, and our favorite dicks.
No, we're not.
Okay.
I don't think
this
you
is
have
a
the
joke.
authority to do that.
This
No,
is a
it's
joke.
a joke.
This,
It's a joke.
this is a joke.
Okay.
You titled the segment the Playmate game, so that was a trick.
No, I still have that.
Okay.
I don't know how to get out of Thunderdongs. How would we get out of that?
No, we don't. We're trapped now. We have to talk about Thunder Dongs.
All right. We're trapped, ladies and gentlemen. We are really talking about Thunderdongs.
Guys. Would you rather? You want me to read this?
Someone read it with some veracity.
Guys. Would you rather fuck Marilyn Monroe? And butt stuff is on the table. But Jesus Christ. But she died.
All right, no, you can't read it. You can't read it if you're reading for the first time like this.
But she
okay, I'll
died.
read
No,
it.
it's always.
Okay.
But she dies right afterwards, and you look like the murderer, and go down as a scapegoat for her death, and you go to buttfuck prison forever, or fuck STD-free Pamela Anderson in her prime, but you come inside her on accident, and you have to raise twins with her forever. Okay, I would
Yeah.
pick the latter one.
Yeah, I think I picked number 2 as well.
Twins? You guys would raise twins over going instead of going to buttfuck prison forever.
Ballard, you are
Yeah.
currently raising 2 children. How is that a horrible sentence? And you love
No,
Pamela Anderson.
I have a daughter who's 4 and a son who's 2. Trust me, that's a world of difference. Twins?
I think.
Oh my God.
I think going to prison for the rest of your life and getting butt fucked all the time is slightly further away in the difference of
See,
severity.
I think you underrate, humanity's ability to adapt, and I think prison would sound pretty fun after a while. Like everyone's got their social grooves going, you got your cliques, you figuring it out.
What social group?
So you're a bitch.
You'd have to join
Move
white
on,
nationalists. That's the
bang,
only group you
bitch.
get into.
Bang, bitches. I'd be just be rolling everywhere
Yeah.
I go, snapping my fingers.
You know what's not said? There's no time here. So you're fucking Marilyn Monroe and butt stuff's on the table.
The time
Okay, you want to hear time? You want to hear time?
What if I just hold
factor?
it?
I originally written time, but I took it back. So the time was this. You'd be fucking Marilyn Monroe for only 2 hours, but Pamela you'd be fucking for 8.
Still, yeah, you're not making the first one better.
Yeah, you're not making the first one better.
I think fucking Pamela for 8 hours would be a privilege upon God's goodwill.
In her prime?
In her prime. Pamela was the shit in her prime.
Yeah, that would be a fine experience. And I mean, if you raise twins, maybe you fall in love. Maybe she's not that bad a person. Much better than prison.
Yeah, well, you know what? The answer for me is I would pick the Pamela one, hands down. I grew up on 7 Year Itch, but I also blew up on Pamela Anderson. So,
and why do you come inside her on accident? I'm doing that on purpose for sure.
I guess like different strategies. I guess you do the hood rat move, right? I guess, and then I'm like screwing up, like I'm doing the fucking college frat boy move. You know? Yeah.
But in her prime means she's either on Home Improvement or Baywatch. She's doing fine financially. It's not even going to be a financial burden.
She's doing fine.
That's why it's not an accident.
Yeah.
It never is.
I'm playing the bimbo bang bitch there, and I'm just getting what's mine.
Bang bitches. All right, well, that's an easy one. So I guess we're all going with Pamela Anderson and having twins with her forever.
That was very one-sided. I would have trouble.
Well, you know what? That's my actual fantasy. So we all picked my fantasy, and that gives me the right to feel good. It feels like my fantasy's good.
Wait, what do you mean? Your fantasy is what? Having sex with Pamela Anderson and raising twins with her forever?
Yeah, I would say having a family with Pamela Anderson was probably 16-year-old and 14-year-old and 18-year-old and so forth and so on. Ballard's fantasy forever.
Not just fucking her, but actually raising a family with her.
Having
for life.
a family with her was a big deal. I understood it then. You know, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
All the single
all
ladies.
the single ladies, all the single ladies.
If
Put
you
your
like
hands
it.
up,
Yeah.
up to the sky, right? Whatever the song goes,
And also,
put a ring on it.
It's not quite it.
If you're raising children with her, that means you're like fucking her forever. So this is
Forever.
like forever, as opposed to Marilyn Monroe, which was 2 hours and she's dead.
Oh my God. And then you're a scapegoat in buttfuck prison.
Yeah.
It's not a good one. It's definitely not it's not my best. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not my best. Would you rather?
Well, it's just very, very one-sided. I mean, okay, if you just make it, would you rather fuck inner prime Marilyn Monroe or inner prime Pamela Anderson? I would pick Marilyn Monroe.
I wouldn't.
Okay. Let me throw this again at you then. What if it's like you fuck Marilyn Monroe, right? But before she dies, she gives birth to your twins, and you have to raise your twins of Marilyn Monroe's without her because she still dies.
You don't go to prison.
Nah, you go to prison. You just got to raise them in prison.
Okay, well, that's still a hard second option.
See, the hard part is keeping the twins out of, seeing all the bad stuff in prison and, keeping them in the, sheltered.
They go to prison with you?
Yes, how else are you raising them?
Like fucking Bane in Batman Batman Rise, The Dark Knight Rises.
It's practically the Dark Knight Rises plot. Yeah, it is. But I mean, your children do become exceptional, of course.
I was raised in it.
I gotta say this apple cider moonshine, because it is the autumn season, is quite delicious.
I love moonshine.
Happy October.
This is like I think it's like 100 proof.
Yeah, moonshine's fucking great, man. The apple cider, it's fantastic.
This is not moonshine. This is like store-bought moonshine, though.
This is honestly, this is okay. So there was this like running theme. Like I had drinks around the house, right? Same thing. This is literally apple cider moonshine that the previous people that lived here left.
But is it like a brand and like a bottle that was like
No, it was like a bottle marked with like a fucking Sharpie that said like apple cider moonshine.
Shit, really? Okay, then that might be somewhat legit.
I don't know. I tasted it a long time ago and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But it was like it also seems like it could start your car, honestly.
Yeah, no, I've tasted
I think we're
real
not even
moonshine.
in the show topic and I'm slurring already, so.
I've tasted real moonshine, which is like almost pure ethanol, basically. It's what fucking Model Ts ran on.
It is. Well, I mean, right? That's why they did the stock car racing, or not the stock car. What was it? There was some kind of racing that was developed around.
Stock car.
Cool Boys, please tell us.
No,
Cool Boy
stock
Nation,
car.
please tell us what it is.
It's stock car. So stock car,
was stock
NASCAR
car.
started with stock car racing. Stock cars called stock car because they actually were used to move stock around, and they had to be fast enough so they would soup up the engines, turbocharge them, and just like fucking do crazy like induction stuff, so that they could have really fast fucking old timey cars, so they could outrun the fuzz who were basically just hopping around in old shit like Model A's and T's. And once Prohibition ended, they had nothing to do with all these fucking cars. So previously they were been racing them for funsies, just to like all the fucking hooch runners would be like, who has the fastest car? Let's race them. Once Prohibition ended, the racing just kept on going and came out of the shadows and eventually became NASCAR.
Wow.
Cool story.
Hey, well, Cool Boy Nation, no need to send us any emails. Felk took care of it.
Cool Boy Nation, if there is a Would You Rather you would like us to discuss on a future podcast, please email us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. Well, cool boys, I don't think you can get a more topical Would You Rather than that. Time to move on to our Cool Boy show topic.
Playboy.
Report preliminary findings.
Not worried about her. We gotta keep him gagged.
Cool Boy Nation, pop your cocks and drop your tops.
It might be interesting and important for you to know.
It's time for our Cool Boy show topic.
Hey, I like that.
Spoilers.
No sweat.
So cool.
And now, a reading from the Book of Felk.
Oh my god, this is really long.
Yeah, you can thank Ballard for that.
That's
That's
what she said. Oh, did we just do it together?
Yeah, jinxies.
You owe me a cocaine.
Nope.
What?
It's you owe me a Coke.
Yes.
I added ain.
You know I came up with that, right?
What?
Yeah.
This Would You Rather?
No, you owe me a Coke.
No, you did not come up with that.
I came up with that.
Cool Boy Nation, Ballard thinks there's a word in here Felk can't say. Let's see if he can say it.
Okay. It was a hot, humid Tuesday afternoon in Houston. I sat alone in my room, staring out into the great Texas abyss, debating with my teenage ass and my pubescent cock whether or not I could perform the ultimate reverse jackhammer on myself. It was a fantastic debate. So I lathered up my rad rod, nice reference, and gave my bursting asshole a kiss. But then, a knock on the door. It was my best guy, Lance. Lance wasn't just some best guy. He was a real cool boy, you know. Backwards hat, bangs hanging out the brim, perfect white teeth, white socks, always on, never off. He didn't like to wear clothing much, and boy, did he have a great cock. I explained to Lance my precarious situation and how I debated with my asshole and cockhole for the last 72 hours at least. Then, being the best guy Lance was, he took me down to the corner where the gutter-pissing dick bandit with one testicle sold nudies. That's what Lance called them. Nudies. Lance was so cool. The OG... Jesus Christ. The OG cool boy, always into CBAs. Cool boy antics. Lance came back to my house. We tore off our trousers, and he gave... and he gave me
Hashtag hats.
and he gave me a hat. We tore off our trousers, and he gave me a hat. We laid down a freshly new white linen on my bedroom floor and gripped our disruptive doggers. Before we could even open the first page, the scent made my asshole pucker and my nipples scream. I was paralyzed by the smell of cum greased all over every inch of those pages. Oh my god, I'm crying and I can't see. Okay, they were cool to the touch. My hands began to secrete more sweaty sweat, but my body knew what to do. I was experienced. I opened the first page of the nudie. I opened the first page of the nudie, and it made this noise that reminded me of taking off my Velcro shoes. The page began to tear. I wasn't going to let a nudie with pages stuck together stop me. I persisted. The naked models before me were as wet as I and ready to be victimized. Their hard bods and fine-tuned glutes had me begging for buttermilk. Oh, God. Page after page stuck together. But page after page, my dick raged. Every new page exposed more muscles, more glutes, and more chest hair. This is a gay magazine? The last page exposed a dozen rock-hard cocks that sent my schlong into a frenzy. When I finally jizzed a blizzard all over the room, I had ruined not only my freshly new white linens, but I ruined any memories those pages had of their former master. Hi, Lance! Well, boys, that was my first experience with a Playgirl magazine. Is that the twist? What about you boys? Oh, wait, wrong story, fellas. What was your first experience with a Playboy magazine? Oh, shit, you shovel on me.
Oh, Felg, I think you misunderstood the show tonight. Tonight's about Playboy, not Playgirl, silly.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
what's up with
I
you, man?
was so mistaken about my story with Lance. What was the word you thought I wouldn't be able to know?
It was
Nudie.
nudies.
Nudie? Why?
No, I figured you'd be like Nui or something.
No, nudie. I know because of
You nailed it.
Married with Children. He had to call it the nudie bar because he couldn't say titty bar.
Yeah.
And Biggins. Biggins was their Playboy.
Yeah, Biggins. Oh man,
My,
big guns.
my abdomen's hurt.
Oh, that was great. Well, I guess the reason we're doing Playboy Cool Boys is because we had the great cool boy Hugh Hefner die just recently. Hugh Hefner died at the age of 102, and he was
really?
apparently surrounded by blondes with huge titties, all covering him in milk all at the same time. And
Breast
it
milk.
sounded like it was pretty fabulous, actually.
Yeah. I think he's already been in heaven, right?
Well, if he's not in heaven yet, he's in the club. Just
He was
outside.
91.
What'd I say?
102.
Close enough.
Close enough. He was old. He was fucking old. He lived many lifetimes.
You know
Well,
what? I think he lived the best life.
It probably helped Bill Cosby rape a lot of women.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Well, I think that all aside, I think we should honor the man by talking about Playboy a little bit, as it was very a major aspect of our informative years and our pubescent years, I'm sure, as Felk has pointed out already in his story, which is just crazy, Felk. I can't believe that was a Playgirl in the end.
Yeah, so weird.
Let's talk about our first time you ever saw like a Playboy. For me, it was about 1989 or 1990, and I actually saw the December 1989 issue, which was the Christmas Gala with Candace Bergen on the cover. And the reason I was seeing this issue was because my brother wanted to show me what Vicky Vale looked naked. He wanted to show me Kim Basinger naked. Now, Kim Basinger was in the 1983 Playboy, but what the Christmas issue constantly did for Playboy, and if you know this about Playboy, was they had a whole section of like the year in sex, they would call it usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it would be
Those are great.
all the celebrities that have been in Playboy and even past celebrities, but maybe just celebrities that were shot in the past, like say Kim Basinger in 1983, but because she was in Batman in 1989, the December 1989 issue would have her naked, and she was naked, of course, in that issue. And it was amazing, and that was like when I was like, wow, this is the best magazine I've ever seen.
I think the first time I knew about Playboy was in the fantastic movie Great Adventures in Babysitting. Have you guys seen that?
Is Playboy in the movie? I have seen it. It's been a long time.
Oh, well, one of the twists in the
Adventures
movie
of
is...
Babysitting.
Yeah, Adventure, what'd I say?
The Fantastic Adventures of Babysitting?
I don't know if I said that. Did I say that?
I have no idea.
But one of the twists not only is Thor in it, but that the... what's her name? I can't fucking think of her name right now.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, is that Elizabeth Shue is the like Miss July of 1987 or whatever in that movie. Like they think their babysitter is in Playboy. Oh. So that's when I found out what a Playboy was, because I think they show the tits on the glass in a PG movie.
Maybe they did do it back then.
Yeah, they've done that.
So anyway,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
when I found out what Playboy was, and then it so happened that I found out that my dad had a Playboy just sitting on the back porch toilet. I mean, back in the day, just fucking dads let it all hang out, and it was the July 1989 Playboy, and I remember it had a news broadcaster on the front, multiple pictures of a news broadcast. I don't remember who was in it, but that was the first one I saw, and I was hooked.
My dad, if he had Playboys, he kept that shit on lock. I never ever found them.
Really? Mine were just always hanging out.
Yeah, mine.
No, in fact, I think Cool Boy Nation, Chub Stud, his dad, we knew where his Playboys were, and we would go and play with those ones. I know I've known Chub Stud, that is to say, a very, very long time.
He's your Lance.
He's my Lance. Chub Stud, you hear that? Your Lance. So yeah, I guess also the first time I ever blew a load, which we talked about in an earlier episode called Hooking Off Stuff,
when you were 37.
was to a Playboy, and that was I looked it up. I didn't remember exactly what it was when we recorded, so I looked it up, and it was the Lynn Thomas in the Girls of Summer Playboy Special Edition from July 1999. For me, Playboy, I've always loved it. I've always owned a Playboy magazine. I move around with Playboy magazines. I have Playboy magazines just to the right of me, about 10 feet.
That's
zipped
crazy.
up in a
That's
luggage.
crazy.
I can show them to you right now. I probably will pull some out later as we get more drunk. But I've also bought the VHSs back in the day, like
That's
the Babes of
crazy.
Baywatch, Girlfriends, things like that. I loved it. I had a membership to the magazine at one point, or a subscription. I had a membership or a subscription as well to the website for the Cyber Club. I loved watching Girls Next Door on E. I have always loved Playboy, and that dates back actually for me to when not only did my brother show me my first Playboy, my older brother, but he also would hide Playboys, and I would go find them. But before that, I guess
That's a great game too.
Yeah, really, it is a good game. I looked for Playboys in homes.
Oh yeah, it's a
Any
great
home.
game.
Tell, what was your first Playboy?
I'm pretty sure the first Playboy I saw, I was like 3, because my dad just like had them everywhere. He didn't give a fuck. He left them on the coffee table. I'm pretty
Cool
sure they
boy.
were under the bed.
Cool boy.
Yeah, they're. And
Seriously, your dad left them on the coffee table?
Yeah,
that's
but
a fucking cool boy right there,
I mean,
man.
screw Lance. Is Phil's dad the original Cool Boy?
probably, yeah. There'll be
Yeah.
a lot of stories there. Hope my parents never listen to this episode. They might retroactively figure out a way to punish me. No, my dad had them like
Spankings?
under the bed. And every chance I got to get under that bed, I was like 3, maybe 4. I would go
That's
under
ridiculous.
there and read everything, and my little cock would get all like it knew what I wanted. The key thing is that I was so dumb and couldn't read. I couldn't read. I had no idea what words even were. But I knew I wanted to see them pictures because they were amazing. So I would go page at a time. Every magazine under my parents' bed, I would pull it out.
Yeah.
I would go page, one page, next page. Paranoid as fuck, looking behind me, making sure no one was coming, because I was only being unsupervised for minutes at a time. Page after page. I'm sure I looked through People magazines, Red Books, all kinds of things that were not Playboy, hoping that the 40th page of a 50-page magazine would some reason all of a sudden be naked women, even though it had all been clothed fucking, because I didn't know the difference between like a Nivea ad or like a fucking Playtex ad or whatever in People magazine and a Playboy. So I was meticulous, that because I didn't want to miss an image.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what issue it was. I can't peg that down. But I definitely know I'll have some specific issues to come up in the future.
Well, do you guys think that like the comics at all like helped in like your enjoyment of the magazine? Because for me, like obviously early on, I didn't care about the articles. When I started like knowing what Playboy was, I liked the nudie photos. They made me feel hot. But I loved the comics. Like I always loved the little comics, little political cartoons, and little sex cartoons. I thought they were fucking
great.
hilarious.
The girls always had great racks too.
Oh, dude, the women were fucking incredible. They were stellar. Fucking hot ass babes. Fucking mega hotties and super babes.
I do think around like 10, I saw a bunch of them, and I was just like, oh, adults are stupid too. Like when you get to start having sex, it doesn't make them smart. Calvin and Hobbes has more insightful, meaningful shit than a lot of those cartoons.
Far Side.
Yes, so did Far Side.
All right, guys. Before we get into your little stories about your Playboys, I thought we'd play a little game, a Playmate game. Are you ready?
I love games and I love Playmates.
We're going to play a little game, kind of like the, what is it?
Newlywed
Fuck.
game? Oh.
Marry, fuck, kill?
Yeah, Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Oh, yeah.
Or Marry, Boff, Kill if you're on
Yeah.
British television.
So we got four rounds. The first rounds includes 4 women. The rest include 3. But so the first round goes, who would you rather? Pussy sex, butt sex, tit sex, or mouth sex? And the category is 90s bodacious blondes. The originals, Pamela Anderson, Jenny McCarthy, Anna Nicole Smith, and Victoria Silvstedt.
Oh, what are my options again?
Pussy sex, butt sex, tit sex, or mouth sex. And Cool Boy Nation, just so you know, I'm keeping the women very somewhat popular, just so you don't have to go Googling for these women. So most of these women, and I also apologize, none will
I
go
think
past.
Victoria Silvstedt, most people probably just would not know out of any one of those, right?
Well, she's a high class call girl, whatever her name is.
She is like a high class call girl now or something,
Yeah.
it seems like, allegedly.
So was Anna Nicole Smith.
And since I stopped reading Playboy in 2005, no girls will be after that, unfortunately.
What were the names again? Pamela Anderson, Anna Nicole Smith,
Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy, and Victoria Silvstedt.
Yeah. So
Silvstedt.
who would you?
What's the categories again?
Who would you rather? Pussy sex, butt sex, tit sex, or mouth sex? Each one
I
has
don't
to
want
go
tit
to.
sex anybody. So for me, titty sex is Victoria Silvstedt. Pussy sex is going to be Pamela Anderson, so I can come in them and then pussies and get them babies and then have that locked down for life. Jenny McCarthy, I guess I would ass sex because she seems wild and crazy, I guess. And then Anna Nicole Smith, I would just I guess I would be. What did I say? I was doing Victoria Silvstedt. What?
Tit sex. So I guess you're mouth sexing Anna Nicole.
So mouth sexing Anna Nicole Smith. And she
Oh.
needs to be shutting up. So there we go.
You're so wrong.
That
on
mouth
this.
ain't for talking.
You're so wrong on this list.
Is there right and wrong?
I would
Yes, totally.
I would pussy sex with Jenny McCarthy because I feel like she's the best overall package. I would tit fuck Anna Nicole Smith because she's big tits and not much else. And yeah, I mean, looking at her eyes, she's just waiting for me to die. That's how she works. Ass sex Victoria Silvstedt because I feel like she's the biggest whore and would thus be okay with the ass sex. And I guess that leaves mouth sex to Pamela Anderson.
Oh, that's so wrong.
I'm almost with
That's
Felk
wrong
on that.
too. Come on, that's wrong.
No, I'm pussy sexing Jenny McCarthy.
You're seriously, you both think mouth sex to Pamela is the right answer?
No, I'm pussy sexing Jenny McCarthy. I'm butt sexing Pamela Anderson.
I don't think she'd
want
like
the
it.
butt.
I don't think she'd like it though.
She'd like
No,
it.
have you not seen Snapdragon? She would love it. Or what
She
was
would love
it?
it.
No, Raw Justice?
I'm mouth sexing Victoria
No, I have
Silvstedt
not
because
seen that.
she has those big fake lips.
Yeah.
And I am tit sexing, of course, Anna Nicole because she has those huge rack. You were just
Yeah.
tit sex Victoria Silvstedt. What? Anna Nicole's tits are meant to be tit sexed.
Wait, no, I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't say tit sex. I think I said tit sex for Victoria Silvstedt. I know,
You did.
or no, mouth. I think I said mouth sex for Victoria.
No, you said tit sex.
No one in my list were,
No, okay,
were pretty
here's
much the
what I
same
want.
except
Here's
for
what
the
I
one
want.
swap.
Here's what I want. Whatever I said
Ballard.
was wrong. Here's what I want. I want a mouth
this
sex
part out.
Victoria. I want to. No, don't edit this part out. I want a mouth sex Victoria. I want a tit sex Anna. I want to ass sex Jenny, and I want a pussy sex Pamela. So I want everything you want, Noli, except I want our Pamelas and our Jennys switched.
Cool. Sounds great. All right.
Was that the entire game or is that like part one?
That's part one.
Okay.
That's part one.
The next
It's a
round.
4-part game, right, or something?
Yeah,
right,
it's
you
four,
said?
4 rounds. The next round, round 2,
Ding, ding, ding.
tiny Playmates. And of course, in this round, we're referring to girls who are probably under 5'2". And
Jennifer Walcott.
in this round, we're going to do Sarah Jean Underwood,
Oh, really?
Kelly Monaco, and Jennifer
Yes.
Walcott. So
I've seen
this
Kelly
ra-
Monaco in person.
Okay, fantastic. In this
She's
round,
amazing. She's
would you
amazing.
rather?
And she's my favorite, so that has to be Kelly.
Okay,
All right,
who would you
Belgium.
blow job? Who would you blow job?
Okay.
Who would you rim job? And who would you butt job?
Huh?
All right. You blowjob mean you get a blowjob from her, right?
Yes.
What's a
and
butt job again?
That's sliding
Just
the
ass
ass
sex.
cheeks over your cock.
Wait, so who am I? Who? Okay, it's Jennifer, it's Sarah, and it's what? Kelly?
Kelly Monaco.
And and what is it? It's blow job, tit job, what?
Blow job, rim job, and butt job.
Is the rim job getting
Okay,
or
I'm
receiving?
rim jobbing. I'm rim jobbing Sarah Jean Underwood.
You're doing it.
You're licking her ass.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rim jobbing Sarah Jean Underwood. I'm butt jobbing from Jennifer Walcott. Is she an option again?
Yep.
Okay, good. And then I am getting a blow job from Kelly Monaco.
Okay.
I'd let Sarah Jean Underwood blow me. I'd lick Wolcott's ass and a butt job from Kelly Monaco.
You guys obviously haven't looked at lips because Jennifer Walcott has the best lips. So
I really like Sarah Jean Underwood, and I want to be the most sentimental.
That's the problem. The other two are better for me than Jennifer Walcott. She's amazing, but she's not Sarah Jean Underwood. She's not Kelly Monaco.
I wish I could do butt sex too, but in this round, I'm just gonna do a butt job. It's the closest thing because she has the best ass probably out of these
Sarah
three.
Jean? That's what I said.
Yeah.
Butt job.
And so I guess I'm licking Kelly Monaco's butt, which is fine.
That's a waste of Sarah Jean Underwood's front. I want her front involved.
See, I feel like Kelly Monaco's butt's a little hairier than Jennifer Walcott.
No, I'm getting a blowjob from Walcott.
I feel like if a girl's blowing you, you have free reign to touch her boobs. I don't know about.
I think every single one of these, you have free reign to touch your boobs.
Probably,
if you're getting a
yeah.
butt job, you're touching boobs. If you're getting a blowjob, you're getting touching boobs. If you're doing anal licking, you're touching boobs.
They're farther away.
Honestly, if you're anal licking, your hands are not fucking, I imagine, touching boobs. You're probably playing with pussy with your hands, right?
It's pretty tough to get to the boob. You're doing like think about this. Your mouth's here. You're looking ass. If they're short, so yeah, maybe you could reach, but sometimes the tits are out of reach.
So these are like pick them up, hold them up women. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
know
Like,
Sarah Jean was that small.
All of this can be done at 6 feet in the air for me.
Yeah, upside down, sideways, any which way. These girls are small.
Yeah. One fish, two fish.
Honestly,
fish.
it'd be an honor to do any of these things to any of these women.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it.
Oh my god.
After horrible would you rather, decisions.
Give me a break with this horrible would you rather nonsense.
No, it is between like two things that are awful usually.
Well, then write a goddamn would you rather.
No, I'm not saying they're bad would you rathers. I'm just saying like a decision.
Yes,
between,
you are.
Like,
you didn't say they're bad. You said they were horrible. You said it was horrible, actually.
Well, no.
Worse word than bad.
I mean, like the deciding between two horrible things.
Actually, Michael Jackson doesn't have a song called Horrible. He has a song called Bad. He's got a song called Thriller. If he had a song called Horrible, no one would listen to it.
I'm saying that sometimes, like, would you rather have a fist up your ass to your mouth or the fist up to your brain?
You love Nolan's. That's the thing. You just want to know if you're gonna get fucked in the ass or you're fucking in the ass. That's the only would you rather.
Exactly.
You want to know.
Those are all bad things.
Nolan gives you those every time. All right, Nolan, you get every would you rather from here for the next 2 episodes before I dive in because I can't help it anymore.
All right, moving on. All right, next round 3 of 4.
I love you. I still love you guys.
I would say
Playmate
they're badly written. I'm saying
of
they're
the
two bad
years.
things that happen.
No, I don't do good would you rather.
of
I'm
the
fine with that.
years.
I understand it.
That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
I said that often the would you rather's are deciding between two bad things.
I love Ballard.
I think
Ballard
sometimes.
Ballard should always do his. They're just ridiculous.
They are ridiculous, but they may not be good ones. Cool Boy Nation, you tell us what you like. Do you like Nolan's ass sex ones?
No, I'm saying the would you rather
either have to get fucked in the ass for 15 seconds or get fucked in the ass for 2 hours, or do you want?
Those are both bad things. You see what I'm saying? Like you're deciding between two bad things happening. Here, you're deciding
I
between
guess you don't
good
see.
things.
The thing is that the reality of raising children for you, Felk, isn't there. And the reality for Nolan and I is, Nolan, can you imagine having twins? That would fucking be shitty. Come on.
Worse than prison for the rest of your life?
I don't know. At least prison, you're not raising twins.
I don't think you're going to find a lot of people who think that those are balanced.
I think you talk to any parent who's raised twins, and I beg to differ. I bet you they'd be like, fuck yeah, prison sounds like a goddamn vacation.
I would
Buttfuck prison.
Perhaps
Buttfuck prison. Maybe buttfuck prison was too much. Maybe it should have been like country club prison.
Country club prison.
those are those do exist.
But I was too influenced by Nolan's idea that butt sex has to be in every single would you rather. I tried too hard to combine.
You're not going to
It has
country
to
club
be.
prison for murder.
I honestly wanted the would you rather for this one to be pretty much would you fuck Marilyn Monroe or would you fuck Pamela Anderson? So maybe I should have just made it that.
I picked Marilyn Monroe.
I picked Pamela.
I would pick Pamela Anderson.
Yep. All right, guys. Round
All
3.
right. Where are we? Okay.
How many rounds are there?
4.
So,
Okay.
Noli, I feel like no matter what happens, I'm just losing this game. Like, as long because there's right answers. I don't feel like there's right answers here.
There's not right answers.
All right,
this
there's
is
no
not
right
like the
answers.
last time. Yeah, I
Everyone's
heard
a
your
winner.
answers.
Felk, I need to hear your preschool talk. Everyone's a winner.
No, everyone's not a winner, and the world does not coddle you. You will fail sometimes.
No, Felk, that's not what you said earlier. I have you on record saying otherwise.
All right, guys.
So 31.
They only get harder from here on out, though, because round 3 is Playmate of the Years. But we'll make it simple. It's a pussy sex, a butt sex, or a mouth sex. And mouth sex means blowjob. So here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Many Playmates of the Year.
Playmate of the Years.
Pussy sex, butt sex, mouth job.
We're going to keep it simple with the 90s and
So
2000s
hot.
here. We're going to go with, I'll start off with a girl. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hope Desirac.
Okay.
No. She's great, but not that good.
Okay.
Just better.
Hold on. Heather Kozar
No,
and
not
our
her either.
favorite
No.
Karen McDougal.
No! Danny Mathers is way better. Playmate of the year.
I have no point of reference for any of these girls.
I already
sorry.
said I would not go past 2005. Danny Mathers is like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. She's
I haven't looked at a Playboy since 2004.
Danny. Who was the other one? Sorry, who was the other one?
I like yours, but I mean, Brandy Roderick was Playmate of the year.
I don't like Brandy Roderick.
You don't like Brandy Roderick?
What, no, I do. Was she actually Playmate of the Year?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, Danny Mathers is the chick who got like arrested for sending that photo of the woman.
Sure.
Yeah, she was snapping
did.
she was doing some body shaming.
Body shaming.
And you know what?
I think
I'll
she's
tell you
the
mine.
hottest.
I'll tell
Danny,
you mine.
come on our podcast. and you
Danny
can see
Mathers,
yourselves.
Phil, she's not an option.
Oh,
not an option.
who are the options?
Heather Kozar.
Karen McDougal, and
Heather Kozar is my pussy. Karen McDougal is my butt because she has a great ass. And Hope is my blowjob because she has a great mouth.
yeah, Karen McDougal's definitely the ass, no question. Hope is got a great mouth, but I would love to do pussy. But Heather Kozar was like known for her blonde pussy. So yeah, Noah, you're right.
I'm
me
right.
too.
I'm correct.
I'm
Just
sorry,
like a
I
babe.
don't really know these
it's
women.
interesting that you pick like the perfect answers, and it was your quiz.
Oh, I put time into these.
Felk, what's your answer?
I'm gonna just go with whatever Nolan said.
Yep, there we go. Noah, I think you're right.
Okay, and now the last bonus round to find out who the winner is. Round 4, bonus round. It is a pussy sex, butt sex, and tit sex option. And the girls are very easy. We all know them. It's the girls next door: Holly Madison, Kendra Wilkinson, and Bridget Marquardt.
Oh, Bridget's the worst thing, whatever you're going to say.
She's the worst. I mean, she's the least attractive of the three, but she's still hot.
Yeah, but whatever the worst thing that I don't want to do that no one's about to mention, I'm putting Bridget on.
I already said it.
That makes
Pussy
sense.
sex, butt sex, and tit sex.
Oh, really?
Okay, so... Oh, fuck. Well, butt sex is definitely Kendra Wilkinson. Titty sex is going to have to be Holly Madison.
Wait, butt sex wasn't one of the options, was
Yeah,
it?
butt sex is an option.
Butt sex, pussy
is Kendra-
sex, or
Tit sex.
Butt
sex.
sex is Kendra Wilkinson. Titty sex is going to have to be Holly Madison, unfortunately, because she's got better titties than Bridget. And Bridget's going to have to be pussy sex, which just makes me really upset.
Nope, you're wrong.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
know
wrong.
I'm wrong, and that bitch makes me upset. But that's the way it is.
Butt sex for Kendra, pussy sex for Holly.
I cannot fuck Holly Madison's titties. They're the best out of all three of them, and Kendra Wilkinson has the best ass out of all three of them. So Bridget's the pussy, unfortunately.
Nope.
No, it's butt sex with Kendra, pussy
That's what I
sex
said.
with Holly,
That's what I want.
and
The
tit
Holly's got
job
better
with
titties.
Bridget.
Yep,
No.
folks correct because the tit job is Bridget actually has natural tits.
So wait,
it
so
actually
what's
great
the
real
point? No, but her
real
titties are
tits.
shit. So what's your point? What's your point now? All of a sudden that your option is like but Anna Nicole Smith, I couldn't get a blowjob from her apparently because she has the best titties. But all of a sudden the best titties, Holly Madison, you don't fuck those titties, you fuck Bridget Marquardt's titties? That doesn't make any sense. Bridget Marquardt has the worst titties and the worst ass, so the only thing you have for her is a pussy. So you fuck her pussy. You cannot not fuck Holly Madison's titties, and you can't not fuck fucking Kendra Wilkinson's ass. You guys are actually wrong.
No.
Valor, you seem more
Unfortunately,
drunk
the
now
sad
than-
answer is that Bridget is the pussy you have to fuck, and that's
No.
the one none of us want to fuck, and that's the one we all have to fuck. The right answer is Bridget, and that's the wrong answer.
Can you seriously not get drunk only on the episodes I edit?
That's a thing, actually, isn't it?
It is.
Tyler, you're not thinking about the options here. On the other options, you had bodacious bombshells like Pamela Anderson and Jane McCarthy. This one, you just have the girls next door. They're all okay.
They're all pretty good.
I really like Kendra, and I really like Holly. I don't really care for Bridget.
Kendra to
Bridget's
me
really
is
annoying,
is kind
and
of
her
a hoe.
dogs are really annoying, and everything was really annoying about Bridget.
Kendra's
Kendra
kind
is
of a
so
hoe.
fucking stupid. I could only do one thing. And that's fuck her in the ass.
Yeah, Kendra might be
Yeah.
retarded.
And that's
I
what I
think she-
said. I said I'd fuck Kendra in the ass. I agree with you guys.
I think-
And
yeah, no.
But Holly, who I would rather fuck in the pussy, I cannot.
Well, just do
fuck-
it. She's the best package.
She's the best package.
So you do
But,
that.
but she has the better titties. I'm not gonna waste my only titty fuck on fucking Bridget with no titties.
You would titty fuck anyone.
See, this is why when I
I
didn't
hate
know
titty
the three
fucking.
names.
Are you kidding me? I hate titty fucking. So I think titty fucking is just so awkward. I've said it before.
All right, well,
so if
we're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
have to
have an
waste my
episode.
time being awkward and fucking something, I might as well fuck Holly Madison's wonderful fucking fake titties.
That's fine.
This is why when I didn't know the three names, I deferred to Nolan's list.
I can't defer. I have to answer.
I know.
All right. I think Felk and Nolan win. Ballard loses. Moving on.
Wait, who won?
Everyone but me.
wins. Everyone wins.
You can't win on your own quiz.
No, Nolan sets the questions up, has the perfect answers, and everyone's wrong.
Yeah.
But Phil got everyone right.
The Playmate quiz.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
I would like an arbitrary judge picked at whatever Cool Boy Nation random they choose to write an email back saying who was right on each one of these for our sake. All right, let's get into some stories, boys. Let's get into stories. Story it up. Felk, let's go into your stories. So Felks is the legend of the Playboy of the Woods.
The legend of the Playboy of the Woods.
So this one's significant because it revolves around a single issue of Playboy. It was second grade. I had a friend who lived relatively close to me. Used to spend some time hanging out at his place. He had a brother, mutual friend. We go out into the woods. I think it was like 32 acres, like right behind the houses. Because this is Texas, suburban Texas. Sometimes you just have a forest. Small, but for a kid, huge. And a forest out behind the house. And we would explore. There was a little creek. There was woods. Sometimes you'd find a kind of a half there shelter, probably lived in by some deranged person. And we found, it was basically a tarp over a rope between two trees. And the tarp was blown off. And there was a single issue of Playboy Magazine. Now, 4 of us being, about 8-ish, all found a specific issue of Playboy. Here is the Playboy. Who's on the cover?
Oh, Pamela. That's the best issue.
That's arguably...
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
The
It's the
best
first one I
issue.
jacked off to.
That's Pamela. That's the best issue.
The July
Route 58 issue.
1992
That's the Route
Playboy.
56 issue.
Oh, it's so good.
Still a
So
year
good.
away from seeing Jurassic Park, but I saw those tits.
That's the issue where I literally saw biscuits for. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's a biscuit.
Now-
This is the issue I first jacked off to.
I want to say I was the cooler head here because I had, like I said, a good 6 years of Playboy experience. I knew what these magazines were, but one of my friends lived in a super religious household, whose parents probably, I think they actually protested Playboy like being sold in like supermarkets and stuff. So it was a very taboo thing for them, for that family. And he was just like, oh my God. We rifled through it, looked through it, moved it to the other side of like the little foresty area, brought the tarp with us, hoping that the guy, whoever constructed the tarp and originally had the Playboy thing would be there, and created the tarp to try and like protect it, basically. Put it under, dug a little hole, put it under a rock. And every other day, whenever we were all together at that house in the forest, we would go out and, peruse it. But after, it felt like years, but it was probably about 2 weeks total of this Playboy being like a regular thing, going out in the woods and seeing it. It was gone. It was gone.
Oh,
and
really?
Now, realistically, it probably has been another of whoever the fucking, left it out there or whatever. But it was kind of hidden. It was kind of protected.
Foul play.
Yeah. So basically, I wasn't one of the two who said, but like one person said, oh, it was this person and another person said it was this person. And we fractured up. The brothers formed together. I was with the third person. And this created a war. And this war, of course, we were all in class together. So this war carried on into a school. And we were blaming, setting people up, stealing teachers' pens, saying that there was the other person who did it to get them in trouble.
No way. You guys seriously did that?
Trying to get them in complete trouble. And eventually, I think there was actually a fight, and me and my friend, we got pulled into the principal's office, and we basically had to, on the spot, explain why we were fighting. And I just made up some other reason about like stolen like eraser or something, and he's like, "Yeah, it was the eraser, but you took the eraser." And the eraser, so we had an entire conversation about an eraser, but the eraser was really the Playboy in the woods that we could not speak of.
The Playboy in the Woods.
That's the legend, the Playboy in the woods.
Wow.
Thank you.
So, anything ever come out of it? In
No.
the end, all this time later?
After we both got in trouble, I think we kind of cooled off and became friends again. And
Who took it?
we never found out.
Oh.
Wow.
Mystery.
I drew because Last Crusade was still relatively fresh in my mind because I saw it in theaters as a even 2 years ago or whatever, or 3 years ago. I drew. There was like a notebook that had like the map to the Rock to the Playboy. So that notebook was basically like Sean Connery's notebook from Last Crusade.
Your diary.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ballard, what is your first story?
Oh, so my first story that I will tell is called The Legend of the Missing Pages.
The Legend of the Missing Pages.
So, Ballard household, circa 1990. And somebody has just seen a December gala issue of 1989's Playboy and saw Kim Basinger, and he's got the taste. He's got the taste for
taste.
Playboy.
The taste for
so
pussy.
This mysterious person in the Ballard household learns that his older brother has Playboys on the top shelf of his closet. This mysterious man, who shall remain nameless. Felk, you better edit that right.
Nope.
Nope.
He starts peeking around these pages. He opens it up. He sees these wonderful titties covered in suds dripping from titties down to pussy. Fucking amazing. Standing in a brass bathtub. She's holding a sponge up against the titties, squishing them together.
Biscuit is showing between the ass cheeks. I know this picture.
I know that name. That's Pamela Anderson. I know that name. I know that name from Baywatch. I know that name from so forth and so on. And he gets to thinking, I got to put this Playboy magazine back. So he puts it back. Next day, gets to go while the older brother's at whatever he's doing because he's older brothering it out. Ballard goes walking into the bedroom, goes into the closet. But Ballard's very smart. He looks for hair on the knobs, on the doorknobs. He knows about tape that might break to show that someone's opened up a room. Sees these things, hair on the doorknob, tapes on the door, all these little things. Replaces perfect every single time. Get into that closet, grab that magazine. I gotta go sit on that toilet, and I'm just looking at it again. Suds, biscuits. Loving it. I don't know why, but I'm hot and bothered, and I love sitting on the toilet looking at Playboys. Next time, I go to bed, and I think to myself, I need to have these. Next day, go in, replace the hair, replace the tape, everything's gold, get the magazine, but I get them scissors out. I cut them super fine.
Oh, no.
Right along that brim. Boom, boom, boom. Right along the binding. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
Pull
no.
the pages out. Sudsy page. Love this sudsy page. Biscuit page. Ass page. Titty page. All these pages. I'm getting crazy. I realize all of a sudden it doesn't look like it used to. I gotta stop. Fold the magazine up. I put it back.
Because all of a sudden, Pamela Anderson's whole section is missing.
Sections of this magazine is missing. But I take them, right? I tape them all together with Scotch tape, put them in an orange duffel bag, and shove it out in the backyard in the ivy. Hidden in the ivy. No one's going to see it there, right? Older brother comes home. I'm sure he notices things are missing, but he doesn't want to say who's doing it. He doesn't want to mention he has them. Everything's quiet, but I have them in a duffel bag. I'm holding on to them. All of a sudden, a few weeks later, little brother goes walking out into the ivy.
What's an ivy? This is a California thing?
Ivy
like
plants?
Like ivy plant, like overgrown
okay.
ivy. So little brother goes walking out in the ivy, finds an orange duffel bag, opens it up. I see him and go sprinting out to him, and I'm like, "No, Steve, we can't talk about this. I have pages taped together. I've created my own magazines out of the ones I kept from my older brother." Right? Flash forward like years, I've got this bag out in the ivy, and my little brother and I go look at these magazines, like these photos, right? Whatever. My older brother finally finds out that I had this bag. He finds the sudsy photo, right? He comes to me and he goes, "You know what? All I want back, I want that one photo with the suds on it." Boom, it's the only photo he wanted, and he took it back.
Is it the one where she's like touching her ass cheeks with like the biscuit hanging out the bottom?
Oh, yes.
I need to see this photo.
It's iconic.
Great photo. Wonderful photo. He wanted it back. He took it back. I got to keep all the rest of the photos, and that was it.
Cool story.
Cool story, bro. So, yeah, Noli, do you have anything? Well, it looks like you have a story called The Legend of the Boner Tree.
Legend of the Boner Tree. I mean, yeah, my stories aren't going to be as detailed as you guys. You guys clearly remember more than I do. I just remembered a friend who had a dad who had tons of Playboys hanging out all the time. And we used to take them while his mom was home, and we'd tuck them. We'd go in the bathroom. They were hanging out in the bathroom. We'd tuck them under our shirts, throw them in our drawers, and we kept walking out. Just trips, endless trips from the backyard to the bathroom, backyard to the bathroom. Mom must have known what was going on, but whatever. She was cool. But he had a cherry tree in the backyard. And it wasn't just a cherry tree. It was a magnificent cherry tree that we would one day call the boner tree. Because we would take these Playboys up into the tree with us, climb up 12 feet high in the air, find a nice branch to plant ourselves on, and then we'd whip out those Playboys and we'd stare at them. And we'd exchange stories, pictures. You have it. And we would get fabulous boners. And I remember one time we found a picture of a girl's whose vagina was almost full size on the page. Just you don't see that anymore. Where the page was just a full spread of a vagina, just a bush.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not Playboy.
Yeah, no, it was a bush of Playboy. Like, you don't see that in other magazines. Just a bush on a page. Like, what? How is that sexy? But Playboy just at that time had just a bush on a page.
I'm sure it was like an artsy shot.
Yeah. Well, with the hair, they could do more back then.
Yeah, there was some little form of crackage, and we were like in third grade. We didn't know what we were doing, but it gave us the biggest engorged dicks of our life, and we just each took turns slamming our dick onto that page. Until eventually my friend slammed so hard that he like ruined the page and it got a huge crease in it and he cracked it. I think if I would have went to town in 15 more minutes, I would have pierced it, but that didn't happen. So the page got ruined.
Wait, no, you're fucking no way. You guys slammed your dicks into a page?
Yeah, did you think it was like did you think magic might be involved? Like you might be able to get it in there?
You never know. In third grade, you never know.
I think in third grade, I understood what photos were.
I mean, no, I'm no better. I'm fucking like cutting pages and hiding them in a fucking duffel bag. I'm like a serial killer over here.
No, but that makes sense because you're still just looking at the page. You're not trying to enter it. Like you're not trying to get through the photo into the photo.
Maybe it was second grade. Maybe it was first grade. I don't remember which grade it was. Your guys' memory is better than mine. It was early, but we definitely slammed our dick into that page.
I was like 10. I think it started at 10.
And we took turns, so it was kind of like a fucking gang rape on this image. And I feel
when you're that
bad
animalistic, I guess the brain plays tricks on you. I mean, I've definitely fallen over trying to lean on chairs in VR that weren't there. So, like, the brain plays tricks on you.
This tree was a special place, you know. Who else looked at pictures of naked chicks 12 feet up in the air in a cherry tree, like hidden from the outside world? We were hidden. You could not see us.
Cherries.
You could not see us from the backyard, the front yard, the street. You could not see us. We were in that tree, slamming our dicks into pictures of pussies.
I wasn't allowed to climb trees.
Pop cherries.
Exactly, popping cherries.
Well,
let's move on to the next story. All right, good story, bro. Let's move on to Felk's next story: the legend of the Playboy of the Woods. Because that actually kind of matches up with a little bit what you just came off with, Noli, I guess.
That was the one I just actually told.
Yeah, that's what he just told.
The legend of the Playboy of the Attic.
Correct. So this is interesting because the Playboy of the Woods story would have happened in late August or September of 1992. However, just a few short weeks or months later, in October, perhaps on October 11th or October 15th, of 1992, something even more magical happened. After watching friendships devolve over a single fucking issue of Playboy, granted with Pamela Anderson, me and a different friend who was older were at my house. Now, at this point, we had gotten into comic books. X-Men was a big one because the cartoon show was on. Comic books were like a big part of life. So. And this is when my dad informs me and my friend. This collection that I'm showing you of X-Men comics, I think this is the first time we've been reading X-Men comics for a day or two because my dad showed me one of his collections. Then he says there's a bigger collection up in the attic, way old issues from the 70s and maybe even late 60s. And so we get to actually, without any supervision, climb up into the attic, which is a pretty big attic. You have to walk on specific boards that have been nailed down to not go through the pink insulation, because if you step on that, it goes through the roof. to get to like this little storage area up in the attic. Now, as this happens, my parents are enraptured in the 1992 Bush-Clinton presidential debate, either the first or the second one. That's why how I know exactly what date this happened on. And that debate lasted for an hour and 90 minutes. But in those hour and 90 minutes, I lived an entirely different life because just past all the old comic books were massive stacks of magazines. It wasn't just Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler. There were Red Books. They were People magazine. Like, who collects People magazines? But I guess if you had the attic space, it's a fun thing to do. You know, Cosmo and everything. But of course, those latter magazines meant nothing. And of course, we didn't read a single issue of X-Men or any of the comic books that we had gone up there. As soon as we found out that just because of a lapse in my dad's memory, he didn't think of the fact that, oh my God, I have stashes and stashes of Playboy, Penthouse, and Hustler up there. I knew what Playboys were, and the Playboys were certainly first, but holy shit, the difference between a Hustler and a Playboy. I had only seen Playboy at that point. You know, Playboy is here's a pussy. Hustler is pussy coming at you. It's spread open and it's about to get you. That's where I first. So I had also only recently seen Predator for the first time. And that's where I was like, oh, the mouth. And of course, the face hugger from Alien. I was like, that's what some of those lips that come at you. And these were old. I mean, it was 92, but these were issues from the 80s. This is, I'm guessing, my single dad's like cis shit. So it's like, oh my God, some of these had like late 70s, early 80s, like bush, like hair bush, but it didn't matter. They were the most magical things in the world. And like there was a Hustler where there was like a vampire, like it was like a guy dressed as Dracula, and he had two naked vampires like with their legs up, like shaping like a V shape, like just spreading their hairy bushes. That image, I've looked for it, but I can't find it. Because if you say Hustler Dracula or Penthouse Dracula, you just don't find it. But because I want to see that image burn in my mind, because it was amazing. And because my parents were enraptured in the presidential debate, and they weren't thinking about, they were assuming we were up in the attic reading about Wolverine going on some adventures with his adamantium claws. But no, we were looking at that just kind of like silent. There was no communication. It was just like just reading.
That's how you read.
The next day, there was garbage bags full of Playboys and Penthouse magazines waiting for the trash to take them away. As I was being driven to school the next day, I recognized the distinctive magazine shape filling several trash bags. And he's like, he realized what happened and had to get rid of them.
Oh, that's a sad story.
That is a sad story.
Ended horribly.
And I mean, even as an adult, I can fucking Google vintage Hustler pictorials and get an endless supply of those kinds of images. But I still wish I could like teleport back to that time, because it's like, it's like chasing the dragon. At this point, I'm 30 years into heroin use, but I want to go back and do heroin for the first time. I've never actually done heroin. This is an analogy or metaphor.
But you have done Crocodile, right?
Yeah. Crocodile is fun. Yeah.
What's with their dads back in the day just not knowing how to hide porn? I could hide porn so good right now.
No, you couldn't. The entire internet is porn.
Like I said, my dad had his shit on lock.
Right.
I never found my dad's shit. The closest thing I ever found to my dad's shit was the movie MASH.
Oh, that's porn.
Ballard, would you tell us the story of the legend of the Playboy Fist?
The Legend of the Playboy Fist. So I put some covers up for you guys to look at. Just want you to look at them.
I see them all. They're great covers.
Do you guys see that? Do you see the Pamela Anderson on black cover called Babe Watch? That's
my favorite cover of all time.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you see the one right next to it, Pamela Anderson, the Ultimate Pamela Anderson pictorial? It's a holiday issue, and it's just like, it was a huge Pamela Anderson where they brought back old stuff and they showed some new stuff again.
It's good.
Do you guys see the ones that all the Baywatch women, including Pamela Anderson, Donna Derrico, Gina Lee Nolan, and Tracy Bigham?
It's fantastic.
Do you see Cindy Crawford up holding herself when she was like, in the pink? I think she's like just turned like 40 or whatever.
Yeah, great colors.
Do you see Charlize Theron? I remember loving Charlize Theron. Do you guys see Charlize Theron?
Yeah, I see her. She's hiding.
Now, do you see the Tomb Raider one? Now, do you know what's special about the Tomb Raider one?
No, enlighten me.
If you look on it, it says American Spy Shannon Elizabeth. That's right. That's the issue Shannon Elizabeth got naked in. Do you guys see that?
That's so weird that she didn't even get the cover.
Okay, guys, you want to know something?
Yeah.
So I was in various stages of middle school, high school, and so forth, and while these issues were coming out, and I was underage and couldn't go to a liquor store and purchase them. I had a friend. He will remain nameless. And
You've done it twice.
What?
Renamed nameless.
Renamed nameless. He will remain nameless.
Hey, even with all that moonshine, you did it.
Every single one of those issues you guys just said you loved and you thought was hot and great and all that shit. Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but when I would want that issue, I would go to this guy and I would be like, hey, you know, I really want this issue. And his dad had a Playboy subscription. And I have divorced parents. So I wasn't always with my dad. And like I said, my dad even had his shit on lock. I don't even know if he ever even had anything, honestly. So... And of course, my mom's not going to have Playboy. So I had whatever my older brother had. But after my older brother kind of moved on, because he was a lot older than me, I was kind of stuck, you know, having to figure out my own shit. So I went to this guy and I tried to, like, you know, be like, hey, man, can I get some of your dad's old stuff? He'd be like, yeah, but you got to, like, wait, like, a month. Like, he's got to have it for a month for the next issue to show up before you can get it. So I would go get this issue about a month late. All those issues I showed you. Eventually, I would find out that his father was catching on that he was selling me these. Now, he was upselling, like, right? The fucking Playboys were like, what, $5 an issue. I was paying $20 to get an issue.
Oh, my God.
Right? But I had the issue. It was mine, right? But
you
when
were
I ended up
18.
finding out...
You weren't 18. You were like 19, right?
No. This is way before 18. But so when I eventually found out was that this guy was getting beaten by his father.
Jesus Christ.
Every time he got rid of one of his dad's mags, and his dad found out that he got rid of a mag, even though he got an upsell of like 4 times the amount they're worth, he would get an ass whooping by his dad. And he would show up sometimes, we eventually caught on to this, with bruises.
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, his dad was an alcoholic apparently, allegedly. And he allegedly beat his son, and his son allegedly showed up to school with bruises. And it was very, very sad.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that story.
Didn't stop me from getting some more.
Okay, so you continue to facilitate child abuse.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I was not made of money. These were $20 a magazine. I honestly only bought like maybe, 6 of these.
So 6 times the kid got beaten for you.
Yeah, but then I stopped.
Are you still friends with this guy?
I'm nope.
Was this Chub Stud?
That was like one of those things that ended in high school.
Is this Chub
Stud? Your wedding?
That was the end of that story. That was the end of, unfortunately, the legend of the Playboy Fist. Nothing was ever gained other than I got some Playboy.
The fist is the fist that was beating his son?
Yes.
The legend of the fist. That's right.
That title is just ruthless.
Oh man, that is.
It was ruthless. In the end, we did stop, and by the time we stopped, also we were 18, so we were buying them on our own, anyways. At that point.
Damn.
My stories are like American Pie. Yours was Elephant.
Yeah. Well, mine's guess real, Felk. Mine's real, America.
My last story is a lot like Felk's attic story. I will call this story "The Legend of the Great Porn Robbery." Ooh. So anyway. Speaking of the cherry tree that we were fucking getting boners in at the boner tree, one of our neighbors found out that we were looking at Playboys up there, and she said, "Hey, my dad has a fucking shed full of Playboys."
A girl said this? Wow.
A girl. This is 2nd grade.
Wow.
So, we trust her. We go over there. We open up the shed. The fucking smoke clears, and fuck, this girl was not lying.
Oh.
Her dad.
It's her dad naked.
Her dad. I
God
wish.
Damn it.
Her dad had saran wrapped, like fucking package wrapped, thousands of Playboys. I'm talking like a fucking tough shed full to the ceiling of Playboys in fucking tough saran wrap that we had to take box cutters to cut open. So now I'm vandalizing this guy's property.
Oh, wow. They're not mint in box anymore.
No, we cut them open. We start taking them out, and we start running across the street like 3 blocks down to read them in this other kid's bushes. Because that's what you did. You couldn't read them on site. You just had to take whatever you could to get your hands on and run away with it. And so we would read them in these bushes. And our friend's dad caught on because he heard all this giggling happening in the bushes below the bathroom.
What did he do?
He beat you.
I know. Coming off of that last story.
I wish he beat us. But he
what? Why do you want to be beaten?
I wish, because what happened, the alternative is terrible. A friend of a friend's dad, a friend of a friend, caught us and sat us aside and started giving me the birds and the bees story when I was like in second grade. I was like, dude, I don't know you. I don't want to hear this shit from you. Just let me go home.
Jesus
Just let
Christ.
me go home.
Yeah, really.
There's a dark underlying current to your stories.
But so I got away with it. He didn't call my mom or whatever. But I'm just wondering, I feel bad for this girl. I never talked to her again. Her fucking dad came out to his porn stash one day and saw that his porn had been fucking violated, molested. We had cut open his bags, his fucking treasure trove, and we had stolen from him. And I feel bad about that. So I'm sorry, girl, who I don't remember your name. And I'm sorry, girl, who I don't remember your name. Dad, we stole all your porn, and I'm sorry.
I have to put a name to it. Jenna. Let's call her Jenna.
All right, Jenna, I'm sorry.
So my final story, chronologically moving forward, all the way to, I guess, 8th grade to my freshman year of high school. Well, a little preference. I actually didn't grow up with cable, so I missed out on like Nickelodeon. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, I had friends who had cable, so I saw those things, but I was missing out.
You missed out.
I missed out pretty bigly.
You can't do that on television. Hey, dude.
Didn't know what any of that shit was. Hey, dude. I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
Hey, dude, great show.
Well,
hey, dude.
But we did get satellite the summer before my 8th grade, which was the last year at a awful school I spent 8 years at. So it was an exciting time, and that was a game changer because all of a sudden I had Comedy Central. I got to see Mystery Science Theater 3000. Oh my God. All these cool shows. And just getting Showtime at HBO was huge. So that year, like Interview with the Vampire, the edited version of Showgirls, all kinds of fucking crazy shit was on HBO and Showtime.
Sliver.
But it wasn't until about 6 months of having it. So about halfway through my 8th grade that my dad got a whole bunch of extra other channels, full package, and that included back when you could actually just subscribe to it as part of a package, the Playboy channel. But of course, this is when the locks came, and suddenly all the TV MA stuff on HBO, in Showtime. Sherman Oaks. Does anyone remember that fucking show with all the tits?
No.
All that went away.
Sherman Oaks with the tits.
The Red Shoe Diaries. That went away.
Yeah, Red Shoe Diaries. I knew an editor on Red Shoe Diaries.
And suddenly, not only was I cut, because it was tricky. Basically, rooted through the attic, there was like only 2 cable boxes in the house, and one was attached to the home theater, but that was also fed into all the other TVs through coaxial, through like a advanced network in the attic. So basically, you had to use infrared like remote that fed through coaxial to change whatever the box was. So the box could be seen from any room in the house that had a TV, basically.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I had to wait until like 2 a.m. and wake up and turn on these things to see this stuff.
Oh my God, it's so crazy to think that's right. That's how satellite used to be.
That's how satellite used to be. But after my dad got the Playboy TV, Playboy channel, he got smartened up and put a lock on it. And the lock, it was heartbreaking because not only had I lost what I had, but now there was something even better, and I knew it was there, but I couldn't see it because every time I tried to go to that channel, there was a fucking only 4-digit code. Now, a 4-digit code to me was a challenge. So,
yeah, you had to have broken that.
I spent about 2 weeks before I broke that thing. Of course, I tried. I mean, I even like, tried to do like tricks, like when I was alone with my mom or going like at the mall. I was like, Mom, what are social security numbers? How do they work? And shouldn't I know yours and dad's and then memorize them and then tried the last 4 digits and any other digits?
Wow. I
tried every birthday or every birth year I could think of. I tried every real 4-digit code, but nothing worked. And keep in mind that I was having to like wake up at like 3 a.m. to do this and then go back to bed. I would set alarms on my Casio wristwatch and put it right underneath my ear and sleep on it, so it would wake me up so I could try out these numbers. After none of them worked, I said, fuck it, I'm getting the article. So I used that precious Casio wristwatch to time me, and I did a time. Entering in,
incredible how methodical that is.
Basically, entering in. So I first timed myself to figure out how fast I could. Basically, you would scroll up and down on the numbers. So you'd enter in 3 numbers, and then the 4th number was right next to the enter. So it was like cursor left, dial in the numbers. you could adjust the last number and then go back to enter. So I would do that. I would like picking two numbers, and then I would go and see how fast I could cycle through 100 options. Because basically I knew that every time I went through 100 numbers, I eliminated 1 out of 100 possible combinations in the 4-digit code. And it took me only about 5 minutes to cycle through 100. So every time I wanted to spend 5 minutes and had 5 minutes where I'm sure no one was going to be looking at the cable box, I would cycle through and eliminate 1 of the 100, and I eventually cracked it.
Fuck, your math teacher must have loved you if he knew this. If your math teacher only knew this.
Oh, I was up a grade in math, so.
I doesn't know. I mean, like, your math teacher would have been like, oh, wow. He's cycling through numbers. He's, like, figuring out combinations, and he's got, like, fractions down.
I kept a secret sheet hidden in, like, a notebook that had, like, all the different first 2 digits that I had tried out while manipulating the latter 2. And eventually, after about 2 weeks of trying, with about 60% of the possibilities eliminated, I hit it and I got it and I knew the code and boom. Playboy TV could not show hardcore. It was just nudes. It was mostly their fucking videos. Spikes. They had a show called Night Calls, which was just 2 hot chicks taking in calls. They were nude. Yeah, there's Skinamax level nude movies that would show like a guy between legs doing this, eating pussy, but you could never actually see the pussy. You could never actually see a hard dick. Yeah, I didn't have. It was just Playboy because it was part of like a package that gave like all the HBOs and all the Cinemaxes.
Couldn't see hard dick.
Never saw a hard dick. But
time out. What was the code?
I don't remember.
It wasn't something specific to your dad's, like something in his timeline.
I think he was smart enough to just pick a random 4 digits.
Huh? I wouldn't be.
I was lucky. I had a friend who I became best friends with, had a Playboy channel, and we went to his house all the time to watch Playboy.
Eventually, a power outage caused the box to reset, and a new code had to be entered. I think my dad just picked another code, and at that point the deal ended. The deal ended, and I think he had to he just lost Playboy because it was no longer part of a package.
The deal always ends.
Yeah, the deal always ends.
So my last story is called "The Legend of the Missing Playboys." And this breaks down really to, as a gift for one of my birthdays in college, my roommate / quote unquote best friend got me a Playboy subscription. And the first issue shows up for my birthday practically. And it's the issue that you can see in the document. It's the Carmen Electra issue. And it's the one she's holding a guitar. And this issue is exceptional. Okay. It's Carmen licking a guitar, which is clearly a dick. Right, and you're jacking off. You're like, oh, that's a dick. And it also has Carmela de Caesar. Now, Carmela de Caesar is incredible for 2 reasons. A, she's an A cup, and she's gorgeous. B, she ended up marrying a man named Jeff Garcia. And for people in my neck of the woods, that makes her royalty in some form and fashion.
Okay.
And that means she's a 49er, like, royalty, right?
She's only an A cup? She's only an A cup?
She's an A cup. Very small titties. But she's beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
She's very pretty.
That's when I found out about her. She ended up becoming a Playmate of the Year as well. And the issue she was Playmate of the Year in, I think, Hiromi Oshima, who is a gorgeous woman with huge tits.
Hottest Asian
Playmate
living.
Of that issue. Yeah, she is absolutely the hottest Asian Playmate ever.
What's her name?
Hiromi Oshima.
Anyways, this issue of Playboy that you guys see there, you guys see that issue again? The Carmen holding the guitar, looking all sexy.
Yeah.
So out of an annual subscription, 12 Playboys, right? 12 whole months out of a year. That's the only one I got. That's the only magazine I got out of 12 months. I got 1 out of 12.
Huh.
So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was pissed off. The next month came, no Playboy. 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 I got so goddamn pissed off. I'm like, what is up with this? What a gift. What a fucking gift. So I go with my friend who got me the gift, who's also my roommate. I go with him to the post office, and I actually lodge a formal complaint against my postman, saying he is stealing my Playboys.
For sure he is.
Yeah.
He is not. I have no Playboys at all. Okay,
Because they came in a black container. You knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was it was sealed in a plastic bag that covered it up so that anyone's virgin eyes weren't ruined by the magazine. So whole subscription goes through, and I never receive another Playboy. I eventually move out of this house, and when I move out of this house with this person,
Hiromi, she was hot.
Yeah.
Hiromi Oshima is gorgeous.
Very.
Are those natural tits or fake?
I don't think so.
Natural tits, 10 out of 10. I end up buying issues on my own because I want them and I get them. And even though I have a subscription that I'm not getting anything, I still go out and purchase the magazines off the shelves. Anyways, long story short, I eventually move out with my roommate. And when I'm moving out with my roommate, I see a couple issues from a subscription that I should have had.
Oh.
Now issues I also own because I went out and bought them because I didn't get them as a gift. Turns out the same roommate has a Comcast bill or Cox bill or some type of Time Warner cable bill. And as our cable bill randomly was rising month to month, when usually a cable bill is like one of the steadiest bills because there's usually 30 or 31 days a month given February at 28 or 29. So this motherfucker got shady, and I think he bought himself a Playboy subscription, gave me the first magazine as the gift, and then took the remaining 11 for himself.
That's fucked up.
So fucked up, right? He went with me to talk to the local postmaster general and lodge a complaint with the postmaster general the whole time, more than likely, allegedly, knowing damn well where these Playboys were going. And my estimation is that this so-and-so was going to the mailbox that is, prematurely, grabbing one piece of mail out and then leaving everything else for another roommate. I was living with 5 different guys at the time. It was a hot, sweaty mess. And we were, all fair. 4 out of 5 of us were at least. All right. So, guys, Cool Boy Nation, I've been teasing Cool Boy Falcon, Cool Boy Cool Boy Noli about how we all share a Playboy episode, or no, we all share a Playboy topic or story together. And Falcon, Noli, I can't believe you guys didn't put it together. So Name Redacted would have Playboys in his room. Now, he was an editor while we were assistant editors. He was an editor where we all met. And he had all these Playboys in his room.
He had like 3.
No, he had maybe 3 on cycle, but he had like a bunch of Playboys.
I don't remember this at all.
I do.
You remember him having Playboys?
I do.
No.
They were gross. They were stuck together.
Yeah.
I caught him masturbating allegedly many times.
What?
Like I know that Name Redacted also fucking caught him masturbating many times. Like sometimes there were Playboys left with fresh stickiness in the bathrooms.
What?
Yeah. Yes. You don't recall Name Redacted to fucking like?
I don't.
You don't recall him smoking weed in his truck in the parking lot?
No, I never saw that.
I did.
You never saw that?
No.
He did it like every day.
He did it every day.
You guys are talking about a time I've forgotten. I don't remember that shit.
He would arrive every day way early, the first guy in. So if you were there super late, you'd see him arrive. He'd go in, lock himself in his bay, and he'd jack off to the porn or his Playboys because he couldn't do it at home.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. There were times I would
guy.
go into the bay because the door was closed. I would come in and go, hey, Name Redacted. I'd go in, I'd see like the pink page with lots of photos on it. And I'd be like, oh, well, that's porn. Why is the website pink and with a bunch of women photos? It's porn.
Okay, that's great. Let's move on.
Well, guys, guess what? Chub Stud wrote us again.
Who's that again?
No way.
A wonderful email and provided us with a wonderful story in time for our Playboy episode.
You're a fool.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk.
Yeah, I'll shut you up.
Yelling at the wall.
Haven't you had enough?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess not really Chub Stud, huh, Felk? This is actually Chub Stud unmasking himself.
Is it? Is he unmasking himself to us in an email, or does he intentionally want us to say his name in the podcast?
Well, he actually refers to himself in this email as Dorn, and it comes from his personal account. This is not from the Chub Stud Gmail account. So, hey, This is my longtime friend, Dorn. Dorn writes us, "What's up, you dirty cool boys? I hear you're doing a Playboy episode. I got to attend a party at the mansion once a few years back. Thought I'd share my story with you and Cool Boy Nation." And then he ends his email with lifetime fan and listener, Dorn. P.S. Udi. Aw, Dorn, thank you so much.
I don't actually know what that means. I know it's a reference.
Nolan actually will know what that means. And Nolan, right? You get what that means?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly.
Well, let's listen to what Dorn has to say.
All right. So I've been to the Playboy Mansion just one time. It was for a party. My buddy got us in because he was working security. So me and 3 friends got to experience the magic and wonder of the most amazing wet dream fantasy come to life.
Ooh.
So we arrive, and the whole party is Candyland themed. So there's all these bright lights and giant lollipops and mushrooms and guys dressed up as Oompa Loompas all over the place.
That's racist.
But of course, we're at the mansion. So the most amazing part is the endless sea of hot, sultry women scattered in every direction. All of them, and I do mean every single female there, is wearing basically nothing.
Wow.
They're all in their underwear or some lingerie number or some lacy, skimpy thing. It's all the ingredients to make your cock giant and rock hard. And I'd say the least attractive chick there is still an 8. We're talking hundreds of mega hotties and super babes, all trotting around in their tight thongs, shaking their asses, and showing off all the goods. So much spank bank material. And at these parties, all the food and booze are free.
Ooh.
You can order whatever you want. All you got to do is tip. So we post up and start taking tequila shots with Tom Green and pointing out all the glorious racks and supple asses in sight. Our dicks were so gorged. Unfortunately, we were never allowed inside the actual mansion, and Hef was not even there. But I did get to high-five Snoop Dogg and watch Simon Rex grope a bunch of dirty smoke shows. It was definitely one of the top 5 best days of my life. I still dream about some of those tender treats. I swear my dick was sore for the next few days after being rock hard for hours straight. Worth it.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks, Dorn. That was wonderful. What a nice little story to know.
Where's the dong in the story?
Unfortunately, that sucks. Hugh Hefner was not there, but...
He was in his rejuvenation chamber.
Yeah, exactly. He was at his Lazarus pit.
Is he married?
Is Dorn married?
Yeah.
Yes, Dorn is married. Absolutely, Dorn is married to a beautiful, lovely woman named... I don't know if I should say her name. She probably doesn't want me to say her name.
No, why would you? One of his top 5 days of all time. It's like, okay, well, is your wedding before or after?
Oh, I'm sure it's before.
No,
or after, whatever's good. I don't know what that means. I don't know if after would be 1 or before. I'm sure his wedding is above on the list.
Well, that was a very interesting story.
Cool story.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Chub Stud Dorn. And yeah, I definitely wanted to go to the Playboy Mansion at some point. I think I'd actually have more fun at one of Corey Feldman's sad parties where like the Playmates who have aged out and are no longer good enough to be at the Playboy Mansion just come to his shitty house in
I disagree.
Hollywood, and it's anyone can go for like $50.
Yeah. I'm super jelly that I didn't get to go to the Playboy Mansion. I would love to go to the Playboy Mansion, especially when Dorn went, or its heyday. But I hear now it's like run down and like the grotto's like all gross and like
it smells like piss. The entire thing smells like piss. Apparently,
my understanding is that it's kind of gone the way of like an elderly man's home. You know, someone who's just they kind of just pee everywhere and shit themselves is my understanding.
Need more dong.
All right, well let's move on, guys.
I think we're done with Chubstud.
Bodies everywhere. What am I to do? I know. Let's talk some more bodies.
All systems ready. 3, 2, 1.
I saw him out walking with his girl.
Oh.
Talking bodies. Yeah.
Talking bodies.
Oh, yeah.
As always, Talking Bodies has us discussing the wonderful world of mega hotties and super babes.
And Cool Boy Nation, to enhance your body experience, strap on that hard drive and whip out that keyboard, and let's go googling for some sweet bodies, but some even sweeter dongs.
All right, gentlemen, does anyone have a mega hottie with a body or a not well-known super babe? I do again. So mine is going to be show-specific. It's Talia Parrish. She's the current Cyber Girl of the Year for Playboy 2017. She was Cyber Girl of the Month January 2016.
You know what? These pictures you provided are fantastic. But when I looked at her on Google, I was kind of like, eh.
Her face is kind of weird. She looks like Alexis Texas to me, actually, but taller.
She looks like a hotter Alexis Texas to me, I guess. Yeah, I go with that. So, speaking of new celebrities, let's get into our top 3 bods from a specific show, movie, franchise, or era. And this week's segment is called Nude Playboy Celebs. So, the nude celebs that did star in Playboy, so we can figure out our top 3. We have, of course, Shannon Doherty was a major one. Lindsay Lohan is obviously one. Drew Barrymore starred in it. And, of course, Steven Spielberg covered her up. You also have, people like Farrah Fawcett, of course, Diora Baird, who I think is number 1, be honest, guys. You had also
this list is it's too extensive.
Well, I think we can narrow it down pretty easily. I think Diora Baird is easily number 1, be honest.
She's in my top 3 for sure.
Yeah, right? Come on. Easily.
This
so
link
hot.
you sent me has music playing, and I can't figure out where to pause it.
Well, that's fine. Leanna Tweeden's
I
in there. I don't want to put Leanna Tweeden on
it.
the list because we've done it before, I feel like, so I would move on from her. Chrissy Swanson, the original Buffy, she was incredible. Tia Carrere was original.
Tia Carrera.
Old school Playboy.
Tia Carrera.
And, there's obviously Sharon Stone did it. Denise Richards. Ariana
Stephanie
Celeste.
Seymour.
Oh, Ariana Celeste is gorgeous. So is Brittany Palmer. I don't know if Brittany Palmer's on. Jonna Krupa. Carmen Electra. We've already
Carmen's a celebrity. Even Pamela's considered a celebrity.
Kelly Brook. I love Kelly Brook. I think Kelly Brook is number 2.
Open it again. I got to find the mute. Where's the mute button?
Brooke Burke as well, but I think Kelly Brook and Diora Baird are at least my 1 and 2 as right now.
That's my top 3 right there. Kelly
Vita
Brook,
Guerrero
Brooke
would be my number 3.
And Diora Baird.
Kim Kardashian was on the cover. Stacey Dash, I think, was on the cover, right?
I don't care about
Pamela
either of
was
those.
obviously on the cover. Tia Carrere was on the cover.
Tia Carrera.
Diora Baird is my number 1, I think.
Yeah, we all agree with Diora Baird? Okay. I think Kelly Brook is number 2 , guys.
Olivia Munn is the most bullshit thing that Playboy ever did.
Okay, let's not talk about Olivia Munn. I didn't mention her for a reason. Yeah. So Diora Baird is number 1. I think Kelly Brook is number 2. Do you guys know who Kelly Brook is?
Oh, of
Kelly
course.
Brook's number 2 for me.
Kelly Brook is number 2. And I honestly,
Fantastic.
I would put Vita Guerrera as number 3.
I would put who's the other one you mentioned?
Pamela, Jenny,
no,
Elle McPherson, Bo
Brian
Derek,
counts.
Cindy Crawford.
Brooke Burke, I would say number 3.
Brooke Burke, I put at number 3 then. I would take Brooke Burke over as number 3 for sure. I still really was blown away by, so many of these women are so hot.
I like Ellen McPherson a lot. I think
Vita
she's pretty
Guerrera
cool.
was one I was looking forward to a lot.
But she didn't show much of her puss. She didn't.
But by the time she did it, she was like 10 years after the fact of even being popular.
But Brooke Burke's like Hawaiian or Thailand shoot that she did was absolutely out of this world.
I actually give Ellen McPherson because she has so much pussy.
Yeah, but you know what? Angie Everhart did too, but they both just have such long legs that, like, are you really looking at that pussy or are you looking at those long legs?
I was looking at the pussy.
That's right. So
Trisha Helfer, actually. I
think it goes Diora Baird is number 1. And if you, Cool Boy Nation, please look up Diora Baird. If you don't know who that is, you're missing out. If you know who that is, you know who that is.
She has some of the best hits. Did you mention Trisha Helfer?
We did. But Kelly Brook is way better. And I would say Brooke Burke is way better than Trisha Helfer as well. Ariana Celeste was great, but she didn't show that much bush. Denise Richards was really hot, too. She had a great Playboy spread. And she did the Christmas Gala issue as well.
She was a little past her prime, too, though. She was a little...
Yeah, but she's still really hot when she did it.
And also, we'd already seen her tits in, 1997.
You know,
Still,
Elle
she's still
McPherson
really
is a fucking natural phenomenon. Like, that girl is, like, perfection.
You know, Ariana Celeste is also
she's
a
Australian.
national fucking, treasure.
She's Australian, right? So her clit's huge?
Oh, that's right.
Sad. Oh, no.
Would you rather suck it or have it fuck you in the ass?
I think the top 3 guys... I think the top 3, right, is Diora Baird easily, right? Kelly Brook, and who's 3? Who do we have as 3?
I think those are fine. I think those are all fine 3s. I would...
Who's 3? Who's 3? I didn't say
Elle McPherson is 3. Dior Baird.
Okay, I'll
whoever
put
you
L
said
as 3 if we all like L as 3.
Yeah.
Noli 3, L 3.
For me, it's more like Brooke Burke, but I'll take L. I just looked at pictures of her. She's fantastic.
Brooke Burke isn't an option.
I
Kelly
put Brooke
Brook is.
over L any day.
Brooke Burke's
L's natural, so maybe we'll throw L on there.
Yeah,
Kelly
but Brooke
Brook's
Burke's
number
got
2.
incredible body in that
Who?
spread.
Kelly
Burke has
Brook
an
was number 2.
incredible body.
Brooke Burke was on the list.
Brooke Burke was number 3 for a bit, but we removed her and put L there instead.
Okay, that's fine.
But I like that. So Dior Baird, gorgeous tits, incredible body, beautiful face. Kelly Brook, what some scholars in Oxnard have called the perfect woman. And
It's
rounded out with the blonde,
mathematically,
Elle
she
McPherson.
is the perfect woman.
Which one?
Mathematically, yeah, the Oxnard guys said she was the perfect woman.
Yeah, and then Elle McPherson, who is referred to as the bod.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
that's a
list.
great top 3, guys.
We agreed. Wow.
We never agree.
No tie.
First
for the
time
first
has
time.
ever been a cool boy tie.
All right, well, let's move on to
Love that dong. Love that big ass dong. Love that dong. Love that coverman dong.
All right, you heard it, folks. It's Love That Dong. That means it's time to name 3 celebs and guess what's the biggest dick and why. And this episode segment is called Covermen. We're going to be dealing with the men of Playboy. There are about 10 men total that have ever graced the covers of Playboy as the main focus of, I guess, that
I can't believe
issue.
that.
And we can go through all the men. Do we want to, or do you just want to go over the top 3?
Who bought that issue? Fuck them.
Well, one of them was a Pamela Anderson issue, I think, with Dan Aykroyd on it. But the top 3 that we looked at out of all 10 of the men was Burt Reynolds, Gene Simmons, and Leslie Nielsen. And guys, I provided you links. And while you guys are looking at the links, I will let Cool Boy Nation know that all top men are so forth. So the top men that have ever, or the top 10 guys that have ever been on Playboy cover were Peter Sellers, Burt Reynolds, Steve Martin, Donald Trump, Dan Aykroyd, Jerry Seinfeld, Leslie Nielsen, Gene Simmons, Seth Rogen, and Bruno Mars. We are going to be focusing on Burt Reynolds, Gene Simmons, and Leslie Nielsen. Guys, you will find dick shots for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Well, I guess Gene's the biggest, maybe? Followed by Burt.
Is he?
And then Leslie. It's hard to tell because there's a hand on it.
Yeah. Gene's has got, I guess it's from a sex tape.
Yeah.
Gene has a small dick. I've seen his sex tape. It's a small dick. I was very, very disappointed.
Oh my God, there's so many Playmates that did sex tapes. Oh my, the Pamela Anderson sex tapes, Nicole Nairn sex tapes.
Burt's is actually not blowing me away either.
No.
Yeah,
well,
that Burt one looks like an accidental shot that was left over from that famous nude photo.
Yeah, I thought for sure he'd have the biggest one.
And then look at Leslie. That's him in Speedo. He's filling that Speedo out. Actually, not so bad. I think Leslie Nielsen has a bigger dick than Gene Simmons and Burt Reynolds.
Gene Simmons looks like 3 inches. Burt Reynolds, maybe he's a grower.
Let's think about this. Look at that Gene Simmons photo. In that scene, he should be fully engorged.
Engorged, yeah.
And if that's engorged,
yeah,
good point. That's a good point.
Small dick.
I can't believe Detective Lieutenant Frank Drebin might win this.
I think Leslie Nielsen has the biggest dick out of Burt Reynolds, Gene Simmons, and Leslie Nielsen. And Cool Boy Nation, you feel free to chime in yourself. Like we said, Peter Sellers, Burt Reynolds, Steve Martin, Donald Trump, Dan Aykroyd, Jerry Seinfeld, Leslie Nielsen, Gene Simmons, Seth Rogen, and Bruno Mars. I guess we left out Bruno Mars, and he probably would destroy this list.
But see, Bruno Mars is only 5'2", so he would be defying all expectations of a 5'2" man.
Yeah,
10.5 inch dog.
He's a great dancer.
Yeah, great.
I'm not a fan.
Great dancer.
I thought Bruno Mars was the name of a band for a long time.
Yeah, on this list, Leslie Nielsen, even at age 75 in these pictures, he had the biggest dick.
Biggest dog.
And he's a national he was a national treasure. I mean, he is.
I love Leslie Nielsen.
I love
great.
Leslie Nielsen.
So
Come
he
back,
wins.
Leslie.
He wins. Burt, you disappointed me.
I know.
Fucking,
you kind of
fucking Gene, I always knew.
Gene.
He has a long tongue.
Yeah, not a long dick.
Nope. Sometimes I wish we would just spend this entire episode talking about dongs. But I must resist. I wouldn't want my cock to explode. All right. We're done. Great.
These are amazing.
Cool Boy Nation, tell us about any of your funny or interesting Playboy stories. Also, if you have any questions or any more insight into our Playboy stories, then let us know.
And obviously, Cool Boy Nation, if you have any buys or dongs you would like to mention and throw in the mix for us to review and alert Cool Boy Nation to, please let us know. As we always love seeing your buys and dongs that you guys never send.
New episodes of the Cool Boys Podcast come out every Tuesday. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cool Boys Podcast and find us on Facebook as The Cool Boys Podcast. You can email us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. That's thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube by searching for The Cool Boys Podcast. And please rate and review us on iTunes as The Cool Boys Podcast. You can donate to us on Patreon and receive additional episodes of Cool Boys After Dark and a Cool Boy shout out on our normal episodes that air every Tuesday. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast.
Yeah.
Blaster and the Blasted.
Just, Cool Boy Nation, you want to do it, it's cool. You don't want to do it, whatever. Really, we appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Felk.
It's Byzies from Ballard.
And it's Byzies from Nolan.
You are outstanding American boy.
You have excelled in all things.
I pump while I dump. Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Get out of here, damn silly. Get out of here!
Oh, yeah.
This episode of the Cool Boys Podcast was brought to you by...
Please welcome Hugh Hefner.
Woo, 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 woo! Cool Boys, woo!
Now, is it just unbelievable wild sex all night long?
Yeah.
Cool Boys.
He's so cool.
No, but that's what people think it is. That's what I think it is. That's what...
We take time off from the wild sex to watch your show.
Cool boy. Get him, Hef.
Get him.
Stop it. You're knee deep in it over there.
I need to suck your dog.
I'm just being silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, woo.
Get some
Cool boys.
So serious.